So I was rifling through the Ren's Rides mailbag and I got a letter from a viewer that needs our help. Ducati Squid 69 writes, "Dear Ren, please help. I think my wife has been cheating on me. I hid out by the shop one night and saw her getting out of somebody else's truck while buttoning up her shirt. I ducked down behind my bike when I saw her pull her panties out of her purse and put them on. While I was down there, I discovered a crack in my swing arm. Can I just weld it back up or will it need to be replaced?" Well, Ducati Squid 69, I am sorry to hear about your troubles, man. Yeah, I think you ought to be able to weld it back, but you might have bigger problems to deal with. Whatever broke that swing arm's bound to have screwed something else up down there. You may want to give it a thorough inspection. What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Ren's Rides. It's another beautiful day here in Waco, Texas. Just riding around, having a good time downtown. Speaking of Waco, I just heard about a new 6-part miniseries that's being made by Paramount. Comes out next month. It's called Waco, and it's about the siege in the Branch Davidian compound. I'm definitely going to watch it, of course, but I really don't like thinking about that incident too much. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. For those of you who need a refresher course or are too young to remember the siege at Waco, just go to YouTube and look up Waco Rules of Engagement. It's a documentary. Give it a look. It'll tell you everything you need to know. It's a tragic incident. It's a dark mark on Waco's history for sure, but we'd be better served by not forgetting it. The mistakes that were made that day should never be forgotten or repeated. Now, I know I said in the last video that I was going to hold off showing off the stuff that I've changed on the bike until I got all the rest of the parts in and got them installed. But I found out a few days ago that my Lucky Dave seat isn't going to be in for another 3 weeks. And that was the last piece that I was waiting for. And Mako Vet, one of our viewers and subscribers, said in the comments that he really would like to see the progress on the bike so far. And I want to give the people what they want. So we're going to take a look at the bike today, and I'll show you all the things that I've changed. It isn't just a whole lot of stuff, nothing performance related, but convenience related. So whenever I find a cool place that I think might make a nice backdrop, I'll get off and let you guys take a look. Alright, I think this'll do. Let's have a look around, shall we? So this is her right here, looking pretty good, I might say. You might notice I got a little swing arm bag down there. I put that on just a few days ago, and it looks great, and it works great. I'm going to go ahead and get in this bag because I'm going to take out this cover that they gave me for the breather, and I'm going to put it on. And I think that the breather actually does look really good with that sock on there. Only problem is, it makes a big difference in how this bike runs. I've ridden with it on and I've ridden with it off, and it feels sluggish when I've got it on. So I keep it off, even though it does look really good. If you look right here, you can see where I have melted the rubber off of my shoes, off of my boots. And I just leave it there as a reminder not to fucking do that anymore. So yeah, the swing arm bag is really nice. You can put a few things in there. It's not small. I think you could probably fit a 6-pack of beer in there if you really tried. And it's got these neat little snaps. You don't have to lace the thing up. That's just kind of for show. And I think it looks great, honestly. I think it looks wonderful. It kind of fills up a hole back here that was kind of uninteresting. So I think it's a good improvement on the looks. So you probably already saw that I replaced the fuel cap and the gas gauge. And it's a pretty neat little system. You just give the cap a twist and let it pop up. And then you can remove it and put it right back. Push it in, give it a twist, and that locks it in place. The gauge is actually really cool. It's got these little LED lights that kind of let you know how much gas you have, which I don't have much, apparently. As you can see, I left the fairing on. I actually love it. I think it's doing a great job at what it does. It's wonderful, and I'm going to keep it on there probably forever. We've got the sissy bar, and it's Harley's quick detach system. You push this up, spin it around, and the sissy bar just comes right off, which is wonderful. I'm not going to have a seat rest on here. This sissy bar is just to strap a bag to, which I'll do when I get my 2-up seat because I don't want to leave my bag sitting here on this fender. So in order to install the quick detach sissy bar, I had to put these little lugs on here that the sissy bar hooks up to, and in order to do that I had to move these lights out, and there's a kit for that. It works really well, easy peasy. And I also had to move the tail light because of the way the wiring works to these lights. You see it goes through the center of this shaft rather than just coming off and around where you can see the wire, and you can't really do that with the license plate holder that comes on the Lowrider S. So I had to relocate it to the back here, which I think actually looks really good. I kind of like it better. It's symmetrical, and you know, it seems to be on there really well. There's a light to light up the license plate, and it works really well. I like it a lot. One problem that I do have, though, is that the sissy bar tends to rattle when I'm coming to a stop and things are really rumbling. It does vibrate and make some noise. What I've done is I've taken some electrical tape and kind of wrapped it across the mounting point in here, and that has helped out to a certain degree. It still rattles just a little bit sometimes, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. And of course, no bike of mine would be complete without the Rins Ride sticker. Got to throw that on there for maximum cheesiness. It makes it go faster. Oh, and also, I've got a gremlin bell. They actually gave that to me at the Harley dealership. I thought that was really nice. Appreciate that, guys. So that's it. That's all I've changed so far. I don't know that I'm going to put pipes on it. I may someday, but just not sure about that. Anyways, I think she looks really nice, and I love the swing arm bag. That thing is fantastic. Really love this bike. This is by far the best bike I've ever even ridden. I think sometime in the very near future, this bike, the Harley Dyna FXDLS Lowrider S, is going to be widely regarded as the best Dyna ever made, and I really do believe that, and I'm glad I bought it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Go get you one. Another thing that I had done that I'm actually pretty happy with is I got the key fob that you use to start the bike. I went and took it to a local saddle maker and had them wrap it in leather and put this nice green stitch in it. Now, I wear it around my neck as a necklace for now, but I don't really like that. I mean, it is nice to be able to do that, keep a little bit of crap out of my pockets, but I kind of hate wearing it around my neck. So what I'm going to do, I've ordered some nice green paracord to match this stitch, and I'm going to run some paracord through it and kind of braid it up and put a carabiner on it like right about here, so I can just clip it to my belt loop, and that'll be a lot better, I think. But look at this fine work that they did. I think it came out really good, and I like it a lot. I put a fresh battery before I had them do it because it is stitched in there completely. And if I ever have to change the batteries, this thing's going to have to be ripped apart. So I got a couple of years before I have to worry about that. It didn't cost too much money either. It was the first time this guy has made something like this. He said it was kind of a pain in the dick to make. So that whole segment right there was just for you, Mako Vet. Thanks for watching, buddy. I'm a bit disappointed that the seat's going to take so long to get finished, but you can't rush perfection, and from what I understand, this seat is that. Now, I did spend a shitload of money on this seat. It cost $500, basically. And when you pay $500 for something, you kind of don't really feel like you should have to wait for it, but apparently I do. That's just how it is. I can live with it, and hopefully at the end of this long wait, I will be very satisfied. I will tell you this though, if it doesn't feel like a $500 seat, it's going back. Have you ever watched a YouTube channel called ClickSpring? Baby Finley and I were sitting on the couch this morning just chilling, letting Mama get some well-deserved sleep. And I decided to get caught up with ClickSpring's series about him building an anti-Catherian device. I probably just butchered the pronunciation, but what the anti-Catherian device is a celestial calculator. It works similarly to a clock, but the hands are actually the planets in the solar system. I think it's just the visible planets, you know, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and the Sun, and the Moon. And what it does is it is basically a clock that tracks the movements of all of these celestial bodies. It was actually built by the ancient Greeks, and there's a bit of mystery as to how they were able to actually make it. It's incredibly advanced. It is, for all intents and purposes, a computer. And what it did was it allowed the ancient Greeks to be able to predict eclipses and other events. Chris at ClickSpring is doing a series where he's recreating one of these devices. And if you've ever seen any videos from ClickSpring, then you know that Chris does amazing work. His creations are just as beautiful as they are functional. He's got a series where he built a clock and he documented the whole thing. Every part that he made, every screw, every rivet, which he makes all of that stuff on his own. He doesn't use any off-the-shelf parts at all. He makes everything from the major components right down to the tiny little screws. It really is incredible to watch, and he shows you all of it. He even makes some of his own tools. He gets some beautiful up-close shots of the machining process. It's really a very thorough video and just absolutely zen to watch. The Antikythera device series is still in progress, but he's actually completed the clock build, and you really should watch it. It is wonderful. Just from beginning to end, it keeps you interested. Finn absolutely loved watching the videos, and I bet you'll like it too. Links in the description. While we're on the subject of YouTube channels, I found another YouTube channel that I've quickly fallen in love with. It's Comic Book Girl 19. Now, this isn't a new channel by any means. She's been around for a couple of years, I believe. It's kind of new to me. I mean, I remember back when the Ghostbusters movie was coming out and there was a whole bunch of social kerfluffle because of that. She did a video about why it shouldn't be that way. I watched it when it came out and I thought it was great, but I never went back to the channel. And I ran across her looking for something the other day, and I watched one of her videos. I really love her channel. I think she's got a great personality for these kinds of things. She knows a whole lot. She's very thorough and very thoughtful. She does reviews and discussions about sci-fi stuff, anime stuff, books, things like that, nerd culture stuff, but her channel has very high production quality. Her usual set reminds me of like a late night talk show, and she's got a couple of sidekicks. One of them is a cardboard robot, and the other one is a space brain. It's just a floating brain, and they act as co-hosts. The dynamic between her and these two fictional characters is actually quite entertaining to watch. She has an ongoing series called Dune Club, which is basically every week she gives you certain chapters of the book Dune to read, and then she discusses it at the end of that week. And I think it's wonderful. I have not been participating because, like I said, I just found out about this, but I have read Dune, so I've gone back and watched some of the older episodes. I'm actually starting it from the beginning, and I just really love her insights into the world of Dune. She's insightful and she's hilarious, and she's been pointing out things in the book that I didn't notice when I was reading it. I'm just having a blast watching her channel. I love everything about it. So check her out, Comic Book Girl 19, link in the description. So I mentioned in the last episode that I want to take a road trip on the new bike, and I think I've decided where it is I want to go. Fredericksburg, Texas is about 170 miles southwest of Waco, and it's a shopping town. They have some neat stuff there. I've been there many times before, but never on a bike. I haven't decided which day I want to do it because I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to get in on the trip with me. If you live in the Waco area, or if you live in any of the towns on the way or nearby, then I would love it if you would join me on the ride. It'll be a weekend thing. We'll probably set off on a Saturday and come back either later that day or the next day. We'll drive down to Fredericksburg, we'll walk around the shops, we'll get drunk at some of the local breweries. So just hit me up in the comments if you want to get involved in this ride, and I'll be happy to have you. It'll be a fucking blast. So that's all I have for now, guys. If you live in the Waco, Texas area and you want to come hang out with me and the Oni-chan crew, come on down to King's Landing. We meet on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We do game testing and we shoot the shit and have a good time. We also live stream it too, so look for Oni-chan Games on YouTube. Link in the description. Also, be on the lookout for the Stony Point podcast. It should be dropping pretty soon. Another cool thing we got coming down the pipe is Very Dark, Very Quick. Basically, it's a roundtable style improv storytelling exercise. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have links in the descriptions whenever we release something. Oh yeah, and I finally decided on a name for the new bike. So everybody, I want to introduce you to Olivia. Olivia, meet YouTube. If you could think of any must-have mods, tweaks, or just anything that you'd like to see me do to Olivia, well, just let me know in the comments and I'll take it under consideration. Also, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, things you'd like to see on this channel, be sure and put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.